Hello again, boys and girls. It's Miss Mora. We're here for part 3 of Summer Detectives. You should have this part of your packet. Part 3, Solving Mysteries. So our first mystery we're going to solve in this packet is called And Then Humpty Dumpty Had a Great Fall. So you need to find Humpty Dumpty in this picture. Where did he fall at? We need to have good eyes and good ears when we're being detectives. So detectives need to pay attention to every detail, where you're at, what you're doing, what everybody else is doing, what was said, how it was done. So you need to really investigate the picture, really pay attention to all the details. All right, and then the next page it says witness challenge. What is a witness? Does anybody know what a witness is? Somebody that sees something or hears something, that knows information from a crime scene or from anything that occurs. Okay, it's a witness. So it says, how can you recall details of the scene? How can we recall details of a scene? Same thing when we're reading, boys and girls, in class, or we're prepping for that STAR test. We need to pay attention. What did I read? What did I hear? What did I see? Was that a noun? Was it an adjective? How did that come about? Okay, so these are all things that help us when you're a detective. And there are different questions. It says, who fell? What time was it? What did he fall off of? How many witnesses were nearby and might have seen him fall? What color was the car? What color was the flower on the car? What did the cafeteria lady have on her head? What was the shape of the girl's glasses? What fruit was on the table? What color were the hair bows of the girl who was holding the sign? What shape was on her sign? What did the sign on the wall say? What color were Humpty Dumpty's pants? How many blocks were on the table? What number was on the block? That's a lot of questions. And some of these, boys and girls, I apologize, it's in black and white, so you won't be able to do too much on the color. You might be able to guess the colors on here because they were printed in black and white. You might want to color them beforehand, and you can change the color yourself if you like. But these are a lot of questions, and it's kind of what it is what happens during investigations for police officers. So they have to ask a million questions, it seems like, and they keep on and on and on. Sometimes they repeat themselves, but that's what makes a good detective, because you want to make sure the person's telling the truth, and you want to make sure they're giving the same answers, okay? Make sure they're paying attention to details, and you compare it to what some other witness might have seen or heard. So it says, how did you do? All 15, you awesome and aware. 13 or 14, great. 10 to 12, pretty swell. 5 to 9 could be better. And 4 or less, you need to wake up. All right, so that's just kind of how you might grade yourself after you answer the questions. Again, you need to first investigate, pay attention, look at details on your page. Like I said, if you want to color things first, that's fine before you answer your questions. And this would be fun to do with one of your family members or a friend. Okay, it could be a good game. So it says, now you may understand why witnesses don't always get everything right. Sometimes they don't realize they are going to be a witness. Fear, nervousness, and emotions can also affect a person's memory. When something tragic happens or something all of a sudden happens, you're not expecting it, you can't really think at that moment. An officer asks you, so you have to go back and calm down. They give you a few minutes to get yourselves together. Sometimes it takes hours, and then you go back and you answer the questions again, or they may call you back a day later, maybe thinking, okay, well, maybe you'll remember, you're calmer, you've had time to sleep. These are all things that happen on investigation scenes, okay? An alibi. It's a very odd word. Alibi. So what is an alibi? It tells you an alibi is a defense strategy in a criminal case where the defendant claims that they were somewhere else or doing something else at the time at the time that a crime took place. All right, and it says, try this. Write down what day it was yesterday, 1 week ago, 1 month ago, and 1 year ago. See if you can remember what you were doing on each one of those dates. A day ago, a week ago should be easy, but you might struggle with the older dates, and that is true for everyone. We get so busy in life and we have different routines, but after a year you forget. Heck, after a day I forget sometimes what I've done. So that's a good challenge, and it's a good memory skill. So that was your first part of the packet 3, part 3 of Summer Detectives. So now you move on to the second part of Detectives, part 3, and it says, who stole the watch? So you'll read through all of this. It has different characters. You see them at the top with their names, and it's a script. Read through it with maybe a family member or a friend. And then at the end, It asks you who stole the watch. Can you figure out who stole the watch? And how do you know? You have to prove, kind of like in math or in reading. We have to prove, how did we get that answer? How did we get there? How do we know it's right? So we have to prove, okay? And that is the same thing here when you're a detective. So when you ask your teachers, do I really need to know this? Yes, you really need to know this because it helps us in life, okay? So we also need to learn how to prove our situations, whether it's math or reading or in our careers later in life. If you're a detective, we have to prove things, okay? So that is Summer Detectives Part 3, Solving Mysteries. And I can't wait to see you the next time. Enjoy.